What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to do a reaction to Dax to Be a Man, and it's a remix featuring Darius Rucker, which is used to be the lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish, which I was a fan of when I was a kid. So always liked Darius Rucker, but I was like scrolling through trying to find a video of music. What am I going to react to? And I saw I like Dax a lot, so I saw this remix of featuring Darius Rucker and was like, holy shit. Like, all right, let's do this one. So I've heard To Be a Man by Dax, just the one he does alone. So I'm just curious to check out the remix. So before we get started, hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, do all that. It's been helping me out so much. I'm trying to get to 7,000 subscribers here as soon as possible and beyond. But little goal to get to the big goal, right? So do that for me. Help brother out. If you clicked on the video, click on the subscribe button. Helps me out tremendously. Appreciate y'all. So without further ado, let's get into this. Dax, To Be a Man, with Darius Rucker.
Can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man.
Yeah, I can already tell it's they started off the video as a different video, because before it was an old dude getting in and out of his car in the driveway, and he's driving a truck. So tearjerker, just warning y'all. It's a tearjerker.
What it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home.
Yo, I know I get accused of stopping a lot, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And I think a lot of men feel like that. They're a paycheck. They're just the providers, and nobody really cares about their feelings. And honestly, I think it's ridiculous. But you know, sometimes you do just got to be a man about stuff, which means you got to be tough, which means you got to have thick skin, which means, you know, sometimes you got to swallow your pride and swallow your issues and deal with somebody else's, especially if you got kids. So it's a true statement there to me.
It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations as a good man.
Dude, that's so true, man. Dude. Let's go back and hear that. Start over with that again, because that's so true.
Man, is what you.
Yeah, it's what you make it. Can't always live up to expectations. Listen, you're never gonna live up to everybody's expectations. I've learned that in life, and it's hard. It's difficult. You know, when I was younger, like as an adult, even when I was younger, but even in my 20s and basically just my 20s, I was a pleaser, man. I tried to please everybody. Tried to be cool. I'll help you out. I'll help you out. And I wanted to help people. But, you know, I got these expectations like if I help people, if I do good for people, they'll love me back. And that's not always the case. Not everybody's going to appreciate you. So, you know, you also got to be more discerning as to where you place your energy, because like you will get out of balance. You will get out of balance, and then you're gonna feel left behind yourself. And it's all about self-care. There's got to be a balance. I love helping people. I love doing things for people, but I also these days I find time for myself. I do things for myself. So even if it's a little bit here and there, it's enough.
Make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations as a good man. Do what he should, man. I'll give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around beyond the county lines of my small town. I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make a sound.
Wow, dude, what a powerful freaking verse from Darius Rucker, man. You could tell he meant it too, man. I felt that. I felt like he meant that. He's really struggling. A lot of men do. I mean, women do too, but this is about men, so it's like people struggle, you know. But I think when you have to so much incite, and I don't think it's always the worst thing for a man to be expected to be a certain level of toughness and to take care of things. There's just some things that call me a traditionalist, but I think there's just some things that are manly duties and some things that are womanly duties. And I don't mean just a woman belongs in the kitchen or a man belongs fixing the car or whatever it is, but there's just certain things, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a handyman. My fiance is a language. She's a translator, interpreter. She does language. She's been a school teacher, and she's an awesome cook. That's all her strengths. So she does more of that stuff, like cooking and stuff around the house, because that's her strengths. We play into our strengths, you know what I mean? So my strengths are fixing stuff and everything, and that's what I do. But I think when you're in a household, you know, I think the man's meant to be the strong one in the household, you know? So you have to be a certain level of strength. And it ain't just muscular strength. It's mental strength. It's emotional strength. It's being the rock for the family. And that's a tough job. So I think a lot of men feel left behind, you know, feel like their feelings don't matter. Because a lot of people say nobody gives a shit about your feelings. Yeah, well, it's true, but, you know, we gotta do and more to help each other and help everybody feel like they're enough. That's a hard thing to feel when you feel like you're not enough. That was an exceptional verse. I really like that.
You have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around beyond the county lines of my small town. I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make a sound. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up, keep fighting. As a man, our sun is our horizon, and our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed.
Yo, man, I gotta speak on that. That's so true, man. I grew up with father figures, and all they ever did was they never handled their emotions correctly. All they did was freaking yelling, screaming, crazy shit. So you for a long time I would not be in a relationship because, you know, you struggle with these things, you know, and how to communicate with people, you know. For a long time I thought if I can, you know, I had a hard time confronting people sometimes because I thought it would just be an argument. That's not how everybody operates. It's not always an argument. So I've had to learn that, and that's something that was stressful and hard to deal with, you know. So when him saying that, I mean, that's a good man, a great father, man. Yeah, they're not going to let their sons, you know, depends on the age. You can only let them see so much, man. I mean, you know, you got to be able to show strength so that they can feel like they can show strength sometimes, you know, and be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is a strength for sure. man, if you don't break that cycle and you do not raise your kid to be a strong, respectful young man, and all they see is violence and hatred, it's one way or the other. It could be end up being a generational thing. So true.
And our father's actions play a role, and we end up like them. So they can't let us see them hurt, cause we'll embody what they do and start a generational curse. No wonder most men are so depressed, all the things that they can't express. They go to war, get thrown on the shelf, then go back to war with their mental health. Then grab that bottle and ask for help, try to pull themselves out of hell, then fall back down and then realize that they're gonna have to do it themselves. It's the circle of life. As a man you provide, they don't know what you're worth till the day that you die. And that's when they start crying, then move on to a man to confide in. That's why we feel we can't hide ourselves. We can hide ourselves. We don't expect you to understand. We just hope we can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and you don't care about what we know. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home. That home. It's not about how we feel, but what we provide inside that home. Inside that home.
Wow. Dude, I have to say, like, for one, dude, how good is Dax, man? I mean, really, so talented. But for him to come out the way he did and build himself up, and now everybody knows who Dax is. Be able to do a song with Darius Rucker and some of the people he's done songs with. Darius Rucker's been around for a long time, dude. I mean, he has been in the music industry for so long. To be as around as long as Darius Rucker has and still be relevant, people want to do music with you. It's pretty incredible. So, good job for Dax just to be able to get someone like Darius Rucker on an album to do something like this with, and to just the way he built himself up. I mean, hard work, hard work pays off. So it shows that he's worked his butt off. But it's true about just a little bit more is like it's just my take. These always my opinions, but I'll tell you, as someone who went overseas, went to Iraq, and there's a lot of people that went through way worse stuff than I did when I was in Iraq. So, I got all my limbs, you know what I mean? Everything. I didn't get blown up. I didn't get shot. So I'm, one of the lucky ones, right? So, but when I came back from there, I mean, dude, I thought people were going to be like wanting to help me because I was thinking, like, when you saw old videos of soldiers coming back from World War II and this and that. But nah, man. I mean, there was people that said some really mean stuff to me. I was going to hell and this and that, and it's like, dude, I didn't cause the war. I didn't go knock on Saddam's door like, "Hey, bro, you know what I mean? Let's fight." You know what I mean? Like, it was mean, dude. And I turned 21 over there, man. It was just like crazy. You know what I mean? I'm trying to deal with thoughts and stuff and like what is going on, dude. And I just got in the Marine Corps and I had a bunch of other crazy stuff going on, family stuff. So I didn't have a lot of support. I didn't really have any support. So it was like just a weird thing, It's just a weird thing. And then you're supposed to be supposed to be a man. Nobody wants to hear you cry, dude. That kind of stuff. So the part of the video about the veterans, a lot of them go to drugs and alcohol, and I did not do that. But I had other things I was dealing with, so, but I didn't go drugs and alcohol way. I don't know. I just didn't. I just dealt with it the other way I didn't run from it. I just dealt with it head on, everything head on. I have used, like, I've smoked weed and stuff like that, but I've never had a drug problem. You know what I mean? It's like, it's amazing. And I'm glad and I'm thankful I didn't go that route. But a lot of people do. And people say just get help. There's not as much help out there as people would like to think. So that's what I will say. So listen, I hope y'all enjoy this one. If you're a man out there struggling, think you're not worth it, you're worth it, man. Just keep on moving forward. Find your people, find your circle. If you have a family, I mean, therapy, counseling, all that is an admirable thing for a man to seek out. So do not think you're weak for talking to somebody. Stick around and, don't do the unthinkable. But hope you all have a good day. Peace.
I've traveled so far, couldn't tell you how far. Feels as though I have been a million places at once. Many lives I have lived, many battles I fought and lost.